Hi, happy Tuesday. Um, I want to thank everybody for being here today. If you're watching this later, thanks for clicking and looking to help yourself reach some health goals, even if you are a busy person. My name is Jennifer, and I'm the nutrition coach at Bandit CrossFit. Drop a comment in the chat, or maybe you can make a comment on the blog or on YouTube, wherever you might be watching this later. What is something that you would like to learn about staying healthy during busy times? I asked this in the registration, and I did have um, some people respond. Most people are just kind of looking for help with busy schedules, I guess, kind of keeping yourself organized. Also looking for quick, easy, healthy meals for in the evenings on those busy nights. And then just trying to stay focused and motivated when you're living a busy lifestyle. So hopefully we can answer some of those questions today, and then I'll address what we don't cover towards the end. I know at times a busy lifestyle can be fun and exciting, and I feel like there's some culture out there these days that feels like you kind of got to keep up with everybody else. If everybody else is busy, you're not doing life right if you're not busy. But sometimes it's good to take a slow down, but sometimes it's unavoidable when you've got kids in sports and you work and you work out and you try to eat healthy. It is very difficult to make it all fit together day to day. Even harder if you don't have a plan or expectations in place. So we're going to try and help y'all become a well-oiled machine to keep things rolling. Um, just got a couple tips today to kind of bring those healthy habits back in while you're still enjoying your life the way you want it. We do work with Healthy Steps Nutrition, and we believe that something as fundamental as nutrition shouldn't be complicated. So we approach all things nutrition and lifestyle with a simple, habit-based approach. This framework here, nutrition, stress, sleep, exercise, support system, lifestyle, has been guided, tested, and proven. We know that helping you become the best and healthiest version of yourself isn't just about what you eat or just going to the gym a couple of hours a week. We really want to focus on a holistic approach that addresses all of these things. And while we know that it is simple, that doesn't make it always easy, right? So that's the bulk of my job, is trying to make this nutrition stuff, nutrition and fitness, easy, right? Healthy Steps Nutrition has helped over 50,000 people all around the world to take control of their health. These are just some of their incredible success stories. There's a lot of misinformation out there about the best diets, the best foods, the best exercise programs. So it's no wonder why we always feel so overwhelmed and at times just ready to kind of give up on the whole fitness and nutrition thing. That's where the plate method comes in. When you're vacationing, you're eating out, you're traveling for work, holidays, or even on these crazy busy schedules that we've just been thrust back into with school starting back and sports and games and all the things, it can make an obstacle, right? The busyness. So the goal is to maintain balance during these busier seasons in life. The great part of this is that you don't have to give up everything just to be successful in reaching your goals. Having daily structure and a few solid foundational habits, it can be super simple and easy to stay on track. If not, you might fall into the convenient food trap, which, in other words, grabbing fast food every night of the week. So today I've got 3 tips to help you master nutrition with flexibility during these busier times. The simplest thing that I can teach you is laying a foundation of healthy eating by starting with the plate method. It's an excellent example of balancing the foods on your plate throughout the day to ensure that you get all the nutrients that your body needs. And here's how that works. You're going to fill up half of your plate with non-starchy vegetables like broccoli, tomatoes, green beans, cauliflower, etc. Think your green vegetables, right? And then you're going to fill up a fourth of your plate with starchy carbs like brown rice, quinoa, sweet potatoes. Oh my gosh, I think I'm not recording this. Okay, yes, I am. Sorry, moment of panic. A fourth of your plate with starchy carbs like brown rice, quinoa, sweet potatoes, beans, etc. And then finally, you want to be, well, I'm going to rewind because I got distracted with being curious if I was recording or not. So half of a plate of non-starchy vegetables, such as broccoli, tomatoes, green beans, cauliflower, spinach, asparagus, all those things, all your green vegetables is kind of what I think of on that half of a plate. And then a fourth of your plate with lean protein, which would be like fish, chicken, turkey, shrimp, lean beef, like 93.7 ground beef, or if you can find it, 99% lean. Good luck with that around here. And then a fourth of your plate with starchy carbs like brown rice, quinoa, sweet potatoes, beans, legumes, those kinds of things, right? And then finally, what's not on here, or it's kind of off to the side there, the avocado and the oil, you want to be mindful of your fat intake. If you're cooking with oil and butter, you don't probably need to add in any fats, but if you've got super lean meat and you are eating fresh vegetables and you didn't use any fat sources when you cooked those carbs, the starchy carbs, then you want to add in a little bit, and that should be no more than like the size of your thumb or so. The plate method works super well because it can be done almost anywhere. It also helps to regulate your blood sugar, and also helps keep you satisfied longer. And one trick when you're eating the plate method is to eat your veggies first, and then your protein, and then those starchy carbs last, okay? So that's your healthy foundation, starting to try to think about your meals and using the plate method when you do. Let's get on to tip number 1, prepare but adapt. The first and most obvious step is that when we are trying to eat healthy and we are trying to maximize our time, we have to prepare. Preparation can take many forms, but it will help prevent unhealthy last-minute choices if you have a plan and then you have a backup plan. So first things first, planning meals. Planning meals requires the least effort up front because you list what meals and snacks you will have during the week. Once your menu is set, you're going to check your pantry for ingredients and then make a quick grocery trip for anything that you are missing that you don't have on hand. For busy families, we recommend allowing your kids and your husband, anybody else that you're cooking for, to participate in the planning and to help in the process of getting some things prepped on the weekends or on a night during the week to make the rest of the week go smoothly. Working together to create meals that everyone will enjoy or is willing to try makes for a smooth week. Plan for treats and rotate who gets to pick where you go. A pro tip is to try to pair your treat with a fun activity. So when we're eating out and maybe not staying 100% on track, we're pairing that with some kind of physical activity. Like think about like a bowling night where you are moving, not a ton, we're not getting sweaty, but we're moving our bodies, we're not being sedentary, and then maybe pizza after that. As far as batch cooking meals is concerned, most families assign roles so that everybody gets to help, and they do it on a designated day, like Sunday or Saturday, or even sometimes when we travel for sports on the weekends, we do our prepping. I cook a really big meal that's easy on Monday night, and then we spend some time together in the kitchen prepping and putting things away. Whether you're prepping for yourself or your whole family, you can plan to make things like soups, stews, casseroles, roasted vegetables, and proteins to put away for the week. Let's talk a little bit more about meal planning. When you're meal planning, you need to break down your meals by protein, carbs, veggies, and fats. So step 1 is to choose some staples that are really easy to make. The Healthy Steps nutrition recipes like pulled chicken and egg bites really help fill the protein gaps with breakfast and dinner. So batch cooking that big crock pot full of pulled chicken to have for the week, and you can kind of mix up the flavors with that as you go. Step 2, you want to prepare your carbs, your fruits, your veggies. For instance, pair pulled chicken with some brown rice and sweet potatoes. either brown rice or sweet potatoes, and then like green beans or asparagus. So you've got your pulled chicken for your protein, your brown rice or sweet potatoes for that fourth of a plate carbs, and then your green beans or asparagus would fill up that half a plate. The egg muffins that I mentioned have vegetables in them, so you could add a carb like steel cut oats or even just fruits like berries for grab and go in the mornings. Lastly, adding in healthy fat if that's necessary. So you just kind of want to look back over the food that you're eating. And if you feel like it's pretty low in fat, then you want to add a little bit. And if you feel like you've got enough fat in it, then you don't need to add anything. For something like a breakfast, if you did the egg muffins for breakfast and you paired that with berries, the egg muffins already have sufficient fat content in them, so you don't really need to add anything. There's some combination recipes on the website, like the cheesy beef and broccoli bake that is an absolute favorite for most of my clients. A lot of people don't ever try it, but the ones that do are like, oh my gosh, why didn't you tell me about that sooner? Kind of like shepherd's pie. It's got some potatoes and cauliflower, like mashed cauliflower mixed together, and then broccoli and ground beef and a little bit of cheese. Also, that's a perfectly balanced meal, so you don't have to add anything to it. It's a one disher. We love one dishers. So when you're looking at your meal, just kind of getting in the habit of asking yourself, does it contain protein? Are there carbohydrates? Am I getting vegetables? And what's the fat content look like? So if we're looking at that HSN, what is it called? What did I just say? The cheesy beef and broccoli bake. To identify in that, the beef is your protein, the broccoli and mashed cauliflower are your vegetables, and then the shredded cheddar cheese is your fat. So we're missing just a little bit of carbs, but like I said, I don't know if the recipe actually has potatoes mixed in with it, but that is what we add to it. It's like half potatoes, half mashed cauliflower. But if you wanted to add potatoes on the side or like squash or something like that, that would work. I like to kind of look over the Healthy Steps Nutrition recipes about once a week to kind of see if there's something new or something that we haven't had in a while that we want to add into our regular rotation. All right, so the process is meal plan, grocery shop, and then prep. So prior preparation before you go to the grocery store prevents poor performance. So while you might have some specific habits and goals that you want to achieve, some shifts might need to be made when preparation happens. It'll be key to kind of prioritize nutrition in this process. Sometimes you might have more of a jam-packed schedule and need to adapt what you regularly do during the week to make sure that those nutrient needs are met. So looking ahead at your calendar is a great way to ensure that you can be flexible and use good time management. If you travel on the weekends, this means changing your meal planning. Like I mentioned earlier, maybe you do it on Monday night or a different night during the week that you're not busy. Grocery shopping using online pickup really can save some time and some money because you're not picking up extra things while you're in there. And then prep from Sunday to a day changing your prep day from Sunday to a day during the week. If you live in the city, you can do things like Instacart and they can bring your groceries to you. Walmart has grocery delivery too, and that will save some time. I live too far away for that. If you get stuck with limited options when you're traveling, just make sure to be prepared and bring your own snacks with you. Great way to avoid getting yourself in a situation where you don't have healthy options. Tip number 2, while we're talking about snacking smart. Healthy snacks are key for busy schedule, but they can also be a nutritious opportunity. So fun foods are fun to add in occasionally, but we don't want to rely on those indulgent treats regularly. So in tip number 1, we talked about balanced meals, but what about your snacks? The good news is the same principles apply even when you're snacking. So starting to look at those snacks and pairing a protein and vegetables or fruit, and considering whole food snacks, something that's balanced. So some examples of protein include like hard-boiled eggs. They travel really well. Single serving, 0 sugar Greek yogurts, or even low-fat cottage cheese. And then making some recipes to have on hand, such as the Healthy Steps Nutrition hummus salad or the tuna salad, or even we have a new recipe, cottage cheese cookie dough, that's super good. It's even more critical than ever to prioritize whole foods for meals and snacks, even when you're on the go often, especially if you're on the go often. Packaged foods can be really convenient, but they're also typically causing more harm than good. There's some terrible ingredients in those boxed goods. Here's a status or a statistic for you. 60% of adults consume daily calories from ultra processed foods, and it's worse for kids and teenagers whose diet is almost 70% ultra processed. So we want to kind of turn the tables on that and be eating 60% of our diet from real food rather than packages, right? Also making the healthy choice the easy choice. When you're working towards eating more whole foods, having them ready and accessible is a must. So I like to think of fruit as nature's candy. We love having a fruit bowl stocked and ready in our house. I have a drawer that's full of fruits, easy to go. We wash them when we get them from the grocery store, and in they go. Whether it's apples or oranges, my people like strawberries and grapes and blueberries. Having them ready and then having some protein like hard-boiled eggs or Greek yogurt on hand can make pairing those really well. If you're a veggie person, having your veggies already chopped and pre-packed in some little Ziploc bags or containers where you can grab or go is a super great idea too. I have a lot of clients that are really into like sliced bell peppers right now, or even those little mini peppers, little snack sized carrots, or even raw cauliflower or broccoli, and snap peas. Edamame too is a really, really good all balanced snack. So keeping those in some little containers and in the fridge is a great time saver. If you're like a trail mix, I recommend making them on your own. And you can put those in with like a yogurt parfait to get your protein, carbs, and fat all in one. If you want to screenshot, this is a great little some snack ideas with some proteins and fats. You would just need to add carbs. And then that next line is carbs and protein. You would just need to add a little bit of fat. And then the last one, those are perfectly balanced little snacks because they have protein, carbs, and fat in them. Tip number 3 is speedy eats. Finding quick meals that take little to no prep or cooking time is essential to keeping your nutrition in check, especially if you have added activities during the evenings. So some Healthy Steps Nutrition staple crockpot recipes or Instant Pot. You can adjust those. The balsamic pork tenderloin is really good. General Tso's chicken, I love that. That's like a pulled chicken. And then there's a 3-ingredient pesto chicken that's good too. And then some under 30-minute recipes, egg roll in a bowl. That is the easiest and the fastest meal that you can throw together. Low-carb bison taco bowls, those are great. Shrimp stir fry, also easy. And then there's a recipe on there for sloppy joes. Everybody loves that. Very easy weeknight meal and quick, under 30 minutes. All of these recipes can really help decrease the time that you spend in the kitchen and increase your time spent as a family, or we're talking about being busy, increase the time that you have to do the things that you need to do in the evenings. Nutrition is a pillar of our holistic framework, but a support system is equally valuable. So buying back time by using these healthy, quick, and easy recipes and giving you more time to spend with your family is a big win. Also want to talk about frozen options that can be helpful when you really don't have a whole lot of time on your hand. Vegetables, the frozen vegetables are a great way to not have to worry about prepping those steamable bags. Just make sure that you're buying ones that the ingredients are basically only vegetables, not the ones that have all the sauces frozen in there. And then also frozen proteins can be handy as well. Frozen chicken breasts, you can buy veggie egg bites that can all be grab and go and don't take you any time in the kitchen to prep. We have a valuable resource here on the coast. If you're in the town, Rouse's has a wonderful hot bar that where you can grab, or even at Walmart, grabbing a rotisserie chicken. But at Rouse's, they've got so many good vegetable options, and they have their hot bar where you could just load up a meal real quick, and on the go. If you are fast food, drive through, is the only option. Chick-fil-A is a great option. We love their grilled nuggets and their kale salad or fruit cup. Um, some fast food chains will offer lettuce wrapped sandwiches or burgers instead of, like on a bun. It's just kind of wrapped in lettuce. Jimmy John's has an unwich, which is just the sandwich wrapped in lettuce. Wendy's does a wrapped burger. So does Five Guys. Hardee's does this. I'm sure there's others. I just know those off the top of my head. And a lot of people don't know that at Cane's, you can have your chicken naked fried where there isn't any breading on it. Cane's is not a great choice because there is absolutely no fruit, and the only vegetable you can find there is coleslaw, which is kind of drowned in a lot of fat and mayonnaise. So not great, but if that's where you are, that's what I do there. Chipotle, Moe's, Qdoba are all great places where you can, build your own bowl, and you can start with that protein and throw vegetables in. And they have a couple of, good carb sources too. Usually they have brown rice. In the mornings, Starbucks, they have the egg white bites. They have a spinach and feta wrap, to kind of get some good protein in. So really, no matter where you are or what you're having to grab, you really can, make a better choice than maybe what you usually do. Just kind of got to look at the menu and start thinking about that foundation of eating protein, carbs, and fat. When all else fails, when you're traveling or on the run, figuring out your best yes and allowing yourself permission to say no. If you say yes to one thing, you are saying no to something else. So make sure that your yeses are in alignment with your goals. For example, is saying yes to happy hour taking you away from spending time with your family or causing you to stay out later than you want? And also, will that impact your workout or your sleep for the next day? Will you still be able to wake up early and get that workout in? Or sometimes it's saying yes to having another drink, which can impair your quality of sleep when you're not feeling as rested the next day, which can affect your gut health and cause imbalances of your hormones as a result as well. So instead of saying yes to the night out or the extra drink, what about saying yes to something that will impact you on a greater level, like taking a hike with a friend or having a healthy lunch, and having a healthy lunch afterward? Or when you go out to eat with coworkers on a business trip, skipping the appetizers and drink, but then you're still there enjoying an entree that you might not have usually ordered, because you looked at that menu and picked to follow the plate method. I always like to talk about these towards the end of the talk, our HSN core principles, focusing on whole foods first, starting to choose whole food options and less processed foods that are packed with sodium, fat, and sugar. And a simple way to do this is just what we laid out in the beginning of our talk today, by using the plate method. Principle number 2, focusing on balance of macronutrients. And so in addition to using the plate method where you're getting all of the protein, carbs, and fat, starting to look at your snacks and other things that you're eating and making sure that every time you eat, you have a protein, carb, and fat. And then, of course, limiting the amount of processed sugar and carbohydrates that we have, or processed carbohydrates and sugar, because we as Americans are getting way too much sugar in our diets. I know that life gets hectic at times, and making time to prioritize your health will seem like you are just creating a longer to-do list. But remember to start small, just change one thing. And by doing just a little bit of planning, shopping, or preparing, and being flexible, you'll be able to stay committed to your health and wellness goals no matter what life throws at you. It's okay to say no to distractions and yes to that one thing that brings you closer to health. So, and all the things that we've talked about today, what will your yes be? Maybe it's as simple as changing where you're picking up food during the week, like if you're doing fast food dinners. maybe your yes will be, running into Rouse's instead of fast food. Like that would be the next best thing. And then maybe it's just prepping one thing during the week to have on hand to grab and go. I don't know. If you're watching live, drop it in the chat, even though I can't see it because I made it go away. It's okay. What if you travel more often? If you're on more trips than the normal person, how do you tackle that obstacle? Planning is still applicable to this, so you can make conscious efforts to make healthier choices wherever you are. Before you go on your trip, look to see what's available to you around there and whether you'll be staying in a hotel without a kitchen, or maybe you're in an Airbnb with a full kitchen. Can you pack some whole food snacks to help you meet your protein and produce goals while you're traveling? Apples, carrot sticks, and pairing it with beef jerky. Nothing has to be refrigerated. It travels well in the car or even on the airplane. And that's also some great things to keep with you regularly for when plans change, because we all know sometimes things are out of our control when we're traveling. With a hectic schedule, our produce goes bad much too quickly. What do we suggest? If you have a hectic schedule and you're trying to eat more produce, but every time you look in the fridge, you see wilted spinach, sad broccoli, overripe bananas on the counter, what do we do to solve this? Pivot more to the frozen vegetables and fruits when things aren't lasting as long. The wholesale places like Sam's, or if you make trips regularly to Costco, those big bags of frozen vegetables like stir fries and their broccoli are great to have on hand rather than buying the fresh. And then you don't have to worry about, if you plan to make fresh broccoli on Thursday night and you picked it up on Sunday and then plans changed and you didn't get to cook that meal on Thursday and then you want to try to do it on Saturday and the broccoli is bad. If you have the frozen on hand rather than buying the fresh, it's still good to go and tastes just as good. Let me skip this. These are just a couple of our people that have had great success following our program and advice. Some more. If you're interested in one-on-one coaching, you can scan that and get started with a free intro. I always have a couple of spots that I can add each month. This month is pretty busy, so you better message quick. And then this is not loading. We do have a nutrition challenge coming up. I'm going to try to reload my page and see if that'll come back up. If the scan code for this challenge doesn't come up and you're interested, you can always send me a message or check out our Instagram. There's a link in the bio. And there's lots of stuff all over our social media for that. But you can always also go to the website and just send us a message, or on Facebook or Instagram. And I think that's about it. I'll let this reload and see if it's gonna. There it is. Ta-da! It's 4 weeks. $129 is the cost. Starts on August the 26th. On the 24th, that Saturday before, we're going to have a nutrition seminar at the gym in person. And then after the seminar, we're going to do a little baseline workout. And after the 4 weeks of the challenge, we will retest on September 21st, that same workout, to kind of see where we've done. This nutrition challenge is protein based. So we're going to be setting personal protein goals for everybody. And then watching our muscle increase and our fat decrease over the 4 weeks. One free resource in addition to these nutrition talks that I do once a month. There's a podcast from Healthy Steps Nutrition called Nutrition Made Simple. You can find that wherever you listen to podcasts. And there are some great inspiring stories and tips, and just lots of a good place to get your nutrition information rather than, the Instagram and TikTok influencers, right? All right, it has been 30 minutes, so I've had enough of your day. Stay tuned to see what next month's nutrition talk is, and I'll see you guys later. Have a great day.